Friends, it's about 1:30 in the morning. I woke up and had a great long jaunt of a sleep. Went to bed at like 7:30. We're expecting Dad to come home from out of town this morning, and so I'm up at like 1:30. He's been out of town working, and he's coming home, and we're very excited here in the Salvati house. Okay, so I'm going back to page 4 of Still Introduction of Myself. To my book, MaRkED at Birth. It's a videography that my autobiography that I'm doing live on YouTube. I have it on Facebook right now, but I will be taking it off of Facebook and putting it on YouTube only. But I'm kind of dangling cheese, hoping that you get interested and follow me there. Anyway, I love you. And good morning. So, I'm going to get to why I'm a vegan. This stems back. Even my little cousin Mary is a witness to this. I don't know if y'all have seen my pictures that I've showed of the black and white pictures of me and that little cow. It's, me and the cow. The little cow's name's Velvet. Well, that was my pap-pap. That was our family's cow. I grew up. My grandfather, my Irish grandfather, on my mother's side, my pap-pap had a little farm. I mean, he had a little arboretum, which was like a little bar, and he had a barbecue and everything on the property, on his property. We had I had a lot of cousins, and that farm fed us, But me being I didn't move to Florida till I was around 7. This is in Pennsylvania, and every time we had a gathering, we'd eat what we were handed. As growing up as a child, you don't have the option of, hey, am I going to eat meat? Am I going to get the taste for meat? Because automatically, once you get some chompers in your face, naturally your parents are going to feed you meat. They believe that's a protein and a substance, and your body needs it. That's what they were taught. Before my awakening, I still had weirdness with red meat. That same little cow that I was explaining to you in those pictures of mine, with me. Well, my little cousin Mary and I, one time, we were having a big get-together. Now, every time I went, my father took pictures for Christmas, made calendars of me and this cow. Every time I ran down to see it, I remember me and my little cousin Mary playing with it. Now, she lived on the property with this little cow. So, I know she was even closer to this cow, Velvet, than I was. And, so, one time we had a big gathering down at my grandparents' house on Mom's side. And we're all cousins and the whole family's there. And I remember eating a sandwich, like a meatloaf sandwich of some kind, and running outside. I must have been 6 years old, me and my little cousin, cousins running outside, and I asked my pap-pap, I'm like, hey, where's Velvet? And he looked down at my hand, and he looked at me, and he said, you're eating him. When I looked down at my sandwich, I saw like a veiny, corpuscly, I saw what I really had in my hand. It no longer was food, it was my friend. And it scarred me ever since 6 years old. I remember crying, and I've talked to my cousin Mary. I believe we did some messaging back and forth, and she remembers very well that my grandfather fed us this little cow. Now, we weren't aware, and I'm sure he wasn't aiming hurt towards us, but it damages a child like myself. Had arguments as a little kid with my mom. My mother I wouldn't finish my food, especially my meat. My mother would sit down, and I wasn't allowed to do anything or play with my friends or anything until that food was eaten, and she'd sit there and put it on the fork and put it in my mouth, and I'd literally throw it back up. And one time she put her hand on my knee or something, and I remember she saying, she saw the anguish in my face, and she says, honey, I'm not going to make you eat that. And I made my choices on what I was able to eat as a child, per se. Thanks, Mom, for that compassion. And then, I'm saying not even a month, maybe 2 months ago, I finally enlightened my mom and told her what her dad had did to me and my cousins, and she thought, like I think, he didn't have any cruel intentions by it. He was feeding his family. But still, it was a little harsh, the way we were told where Velvet had went, and the immediate reaction on our faces that we were devouring it. Hence, I still wasn't a vegan. I didn't always like seafood. I was allergic to it. But I saw what was on my plate, friends. After my awakening, I slowly was instructed to stop red meat. Then it was stop chicken. Then it was stop seafood. Then it was stop dairy. My Holy Spirit had instructed me slowly how to remove these addictions, these bloodthirsts, these toxins, these poisons. Remember, we have mouths and mouths and mouths of intestines. To get all that rotting meat and all those years of garbage, it's going to take about 30 to 40 days, or 3 or 4 months, I should say, to get through those mouths and mouths of intestines, to move all that 47 years worth of eating meat and toxins out of my system, because things hold on to the walls of your body, and a lot of those cramping and stuff are things detaching. Okay, so I'm going to move on to probably page 6, but I'm a vegan for many, many, many reasons, and eating clean, I believe we don't take the if you eat meat, I believe that you take the consciousness on of the animal. I love you, friends. We're going to move on to page 6. This is BiRtH, my autobiography, all on video. Here on Facebook right now. I moved all of these to YouTube. Soon it'll just be on YouTube. Please subscribe. I love you, friends.